Hi, we're here and we're presenting our social media and digital marketing plan for Vuori. We are super excited. My name is Emily.
And my name is Collette, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So to begin, you are looking at a copy of our table of contents. As you can see, we'll be going over quite a few things today, but we'll be starting with our narrative.
So what we saw overall for Vuori's narrative and mission statement was that it is the community and the memories that you make that are the most important. And so for us, we found that creating experiences that are positive and memorable means nothing if you are without your community. So at Vuori, you guys strive to make great products, you be in great relationships and live life extraordinarily. And you couldn't do that without your community, which includes your staff and your consumers. So we're hoping to aim to bring together all people to create and share their experiences, whether your community is your family or a group of friends. We want your consumers to count on Vuori to make great products that will be there with you for every memory.
Jumping into the SWOT analysis for your company, we looked at strengths first and foremost. We really appreciate that your company offers clothes for all genders, as well as being athleisure that is comfortable for lounging around while also working out. You also have a strong and genuine influencer presence, which we think is important and we'd like to expand on. And we thought it was very cool that you have an active club where you offer free digital exercise classes, especially as we've seen through the pandemic. It's important to have opportunities to get involved away from people in person. So we really thought this was a cool idea. For weaknesses, we did recognize that there's a little bit of inconsistency when it comes to your brand image and messaging, as well as your posts. So while you cover a wide range of topics ranging from relaxation, exploration, and exercise, we want to really tighten up that messaging and make it more cohesive so that it delivers better. And then lastly, we recognize that you currently have low reach and engagement from your consumers on your social media. So we're hoping through our plan that you'll be able to improve this.
Opportunities and threats. First off, for opportunities, we thought that partnering with brands that share the same values will be very important, especially since you are still a smaller business. Partnering with brands that share the same values can be very great for engagement. And then also the promotion of your Instagram store and also consistent product posts. Whereas some of your posts do have the products tagged to your Instagram store, others do not. And we think that if you made it consistent, it'd be really great and you would see a great increase in sales from your Instagram store. We also could see that growing your online community to foster relationships and improve brand authority is a very big opportunity for you. And we think that this campaign will be a great way to improve that. Unfortunately, some of the threats that we did see was that athleisure is a very highly competitive market ever since it became a trend. So with this, consumers are more likely to be attracted to lower price athleisure items, or they are more attracted to highly known companies like Athleta, Nike, and Lululemon who are moving to athleisure wear. With that being said, we do really see that you guys can be a great brand that can compete with Athleta, Nike, and Lululemon based on your values. And some of the key messages that will get that across are going to be family, community, and lifestyle. So with family, we see that you guys create athleisure wear that keeps up with busy schedules, including the one of little ones, so that your consumers can pursue a happier life. With community, you guys aim to bring people of all walks of life together to create and share positive, meaningful experiences. And then for lifestyle, as a coastal California brand, you guys have the integration of fitness, surf, sport, and art. And Vuori offers all that any unique lifestyle may need.
Now it's time to dive a little bit deeper into your target audiences. So we categorized your followers into 3 groups. We've got the adventurers, the achievers, and your acrobats. And we'll go into what these each mean next.
So adventurers, who are they? They're going to be people of all genders, aged 21 to 27, and they're exactly what it sounds like. They're people who crave adventures that get them active and outdoors, whether it's climbing Mount Kilimanjaro or going on a hike. They just strive to do anything that pumps their adrenaline. And so what are they looking for? They're looking for athletic wear that holds up with their thrill-seeking lifestyles and that they don't have to think about when climbing the highest mountain. What they're really looking for is the ability for durability in their clothing. And so how are we going to engage them? Content that showcases real people, just like the people in this picture who tagged you guys on Instagram. So showcases real people, and then also Vuori influencers who are on their own outdoor adventures. And also the creation of a highlight that showcases all that the daring and thrill seekers are doing. The next one would be achievers. They are aged 18 to 24, mostly female, but men are also included, but they are young adults who are looking to climb the ladder of their desired career. So they may be in college getting their degree, or they might be corporate climbers, but both are pulling all-nighters to achieve their goals. They also exercise when it's convenient for them and their schedule. And what are they looking for? They're looking for athleisure wear that can transition from the classroom or the workplace to the comforts of their home. They're also looking for stylish but comfortable wears that fit their lifestyle. And so how are we going to engage them? The creation of content that showcases how easy Vuori is to style for casual work or gym outings. And this will be done through influencers and real people.
And lastly, we have your acrobats. So these are individuals ranging ages 23 to 30, most likely young parents who are still trying to do it all. Their children are most likely newborns to young children, and they are constantly trying to juggle their work careers while also having to pick up their kids from daycare or school. What are they looking for? Acrobats are looking for athleisure that can keep up with their busy schedules while still being comfortable. They're balancing a lot. They can't have their clothes restricting them at the same time. And then lastly, how are we going to engage acrobats? Similar to adventurers, we'd like to use influencers to showcase that Vuori can make apparel that'll make getting ready in the morning easier, even if they have a crying baby in the background. Now that we have identified your key and target audiences, we'd like to look into strategies to help improve the brand. First off, we have community. So by building an online community through meaningful partnerships and engagement, we can help to expand your consumer base. With consistency, we can create a clear and concise voice for your brand that'll help to improve your authority among consumers and stand out among competitors. And lastly, creativity. We really want Vuori to be a brand that means more to people than just athleisure. So we can achieve this by promoting your unique brand campaigns, which support your mission statement and values.
So through our own research, we found that your audiences of the acrobats, adventurers, and achievers mostly use Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And so that is the channels that we will be utilizing to get your key messages and our strategies across. And to start off, we have our influencers. This can be on a range of from all channels to just one. We have, for our adventurers, we have Dylan Efron. He is a creator that values outdoors and exercise. So he creates content of all of his adventures, which makes him the great influencer for adventurers. And he's also Zac Efron's brother, so it's pretty cool. And then next we have Mike Zazone. She is a body positivity account that creates content that is both exercise and fashion based, making her a great influencer for achievers. Next, we have Britt and Connor Kent. They are going to be great influencers for our acrobats. They are family influencers that are constantly making memories with their family that involve the outdoors and their busy schedule. And though these are just 3 influencers, they are the blueprint for what we are looking for in our influencers. So what is this going to look like? First off, we're going to be researching each of the influencers' audiences to determine what marketing tactics we should be using to achieve the most interaction from our target audiences. After identifying the influencers' audience, we will be working together to create content that promotes Vuori while remaining true to both the Vuori and the influencer's individual identity. And then the creation of content will cater to the audience that we are betting for, whether that's adventurers, achievers, or acrobats. And we want to make sure that we are getting their attention. We also want to create a personal promotion code for each of the influencers to give to their followers, and then monitor the sales to see which promotion codes are being used and the frequency of each to ensure that each target audiences are being targeted, and also to see which audience uses them the most.
Next up, we're going to look at our idea for partnerships. So similar to influencers, we think it would be a really great opportunity for Vuori to partner with brands that share similar mission statements. The first of these brands could be Liquid IV. This is a company that also cares about bettering the lives of their consumers and the planet itself, and you share similar values throughout your mission statements. Next, we have Bala, which is a company that shares the idea and hopes of getting people outside and moving. We imagine a really beautiful partnership blossoming between these two companies to create some fun activities and opportunities to get your consumers up. And lastly, we have Jade Yoga Mats. This is a sustainable company which is constantly giving back to Earth preservation efforts. So you share similar ideas for sustainability and could help to encourage your audience to be more mindful about how they're treating the planet. Next up, what will this partnership program look like? Similar to the influencer stage, we want to start out with a good amount of research to identify who the main audiences of each of these brands will be, while also ensuring that the values of your brands align. Additionally, we also want to identify ways that we can collaborate to ensure that both brands are being rewarded and will benefit equally from that campaign. Next, we have the creation stage. So after we identify the key brands, we'll want to collaborate together to find out what's the best way we can make this partnership work. So whether it's a limited edition piece that is sold on both brands' sites, or a collaboration for a workout or activity experience, we want to showcase that on both of the Instagram pages. Lastly, we have the execution stage. So after we have our content created, we'll release it on both brands' pages after we've agreed on a similar story to tell. We also want to monitor KPIs to see that both audiences are engaging and that the partnership is equally beneficial.
So for our media plan, as you can kind of tell, Instagram is going to be our biggest channel to reach our target audience. This is just because we found that our target audience uses Instagram a lot more than the other channels. So the frequency of these are going to be 3 to 4 posts per week, but that also includes daily engagement via stories and also the comment section. So the paid media is going to include sponsored and influencer posts and ads that appear on our target audience's feed with a budget of $27,000. For TikTok, our frequency is going to be 1 to 2 posts per week with daily engagement via comment section. And our paid media is going to be the influencer posts that reach our target audiences with a budget of $20,000. Though that does seem like a lot just for influencer posts, we have found that influencers really do deserve the money that they're getting and to make those influencer posts. And then for Twitter, we also found that our target audience uses Twitter a lot. The frequency is going to be about 3 to 5 tweets per week with daily engagement with retweets and replies. The paid media is going to include sponsored tweets targeted towards our target audiences with the budget of $13,000.
So looking at some examples of some sponsored content that we can promote. For Instagram, we have posts that will tailor to each of our target audiences. So some content that may be targeted towards a younger audience versus parents. We gave some examples here, but it can really be flexible based on what your brand wants to promote. For TikTok, we have examples here. Each of these tailors to a different demographic, but all of them showcase your brand in a way that Instagram and Twitter cannot, because it is moving and it gets to really show the personality of your consumers. And next and finally, we have Twitter. So Twitter, this is a platform that we recognize has a lot of content being pushed out every couple of seconds. So we wanted to make your tweets stand out using capitalization, hashtags, and emojis to capture your audience's attention among a busy timeline.
And so for our post timeline, just a brief overview. In January, we will be initiating partnerships with our influencers and our similar brands. We're also hoping to see promotion of New Year's focused advertisements, as this is the time that everyone is making their New Year's resolutions, which mostly and always include exercise, and the setup of Google Analytics to measure our KPIs. February, release of partnership content, and also checking in to that you guys are maintaining a frequent posting schedule on your social media. In March, we will be identifying trends in our social media engagement, monitoring data from our paid media, and then also a 3-month progress meeting with the team.
Moving on to April, we'll want to evaluate the effectiveness of our current partnerships to ensure that they're still being beneficial for the brand. And if any need to be adjusted, then we'll do this then. In May, we want to prepare some new content for our social media. This can include summer advertisements geared to getting people outside while they have breaks from school or work. And we'll also be promoting ongoing social or environmental activism efforts that your brand is currently participating in. Lastly, in June, we'll have one more check-in meeting with the team to set up next steps and evaluate ways that we can continue these efforts moving forward. And lastly, a KPI evaluation, which we'll go into more on the next slide.
So what KPIs are we going to be looking at as a measurement of success? First off, engagement rate. This is important because it tells us if we are reaching our target audiences and can lead to brand loyalty and great relationships with your consumers if utilized correctly. If you continue to have daily engagement on each of your channels, this will lead to brand loyalty. Cost per acquisition. This just helps us measure your return on investment and gives us better control of tracking which advertisements are reaching the right audience. And an increase in sale. Though this does seem like a big KPI to measure, this just lets us know that the overall campaign of influencers, ads, and brands are successful in obtaining new and returning consumers. This will also help us see, again, as we mentioned for influencers, see which coupon codes are doing the best and see if we will continue on with the coupon codes and thus forth. And then our click-through rate, this just helps us understand what is and is not working when trying to reach our target audience. And this also just lets us see if we need to change anything about how we are reaching them.
To conclude, we'd like to thank you for your time today. We're really excited to see Vuori grow in your brand's goals, and we hope that these ideas have been helpful and that they can help spark some new creativity. Thank you again and have a great rest of your evening.